The time is precisely 6:15. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here's the news edited by Anjana Tudamgoda and read by Ramesh Pires. The headlines. The President visits the University of Kelaniya to declare open the new building of the Department of Pali and Buddhist Studies. The Speaker endorses certificate on 2 bills. Shashindra Rajapaksa appointed as State Minister for Irrigation and Water Resources Management, while Jagat Priyankara appointed as MP. The government shifts Maha paddy purchases to rice mill owners, unveils 9 billion rupees loan scheme. The US Ambassador Julie Chung pledges further healthcare assistance to Sri Lanka. In foreign news, Imran Khan, wife sentenced to 14 years in state gifts case. And in sports, Widdowburn shines in West Indies under-19 win against the Sri Lankans. Now the local news in detail. President Ranil Wickremesinghe inaugurated the new building of the Postgraduate Institute of Pali and Buddhist Studies affiliated with Kelaniya University. This event followed protests from a group of students at the university during the President's visit. Despite discussions with the Students' Union, University Governing Authority, the student representatives claimed the talks were unsuccessful. The President opened the new building outside the Kelaniya University campus near the Kelaniya Regional Council. Heightened security measures were observed around Kelaniya University during the event. The Speaker of Parliament, Mahinda Yapa Abeyewardena, has endorsed the certificate on 2 bills today. Accordingly, the recognition of enforcement of international settlement agreements resulting from Mediation Bill and the Notaries Amendment Bill, which were passed in Parliament recently, have been certified by the Speaker. Thus, the said bills will come into effect as the recognition and enforcement of international settlement agreements resulting from Mediation Act No. 5 of 2024 and the Notaries Amendment Act No. 6 of 2024. Parliamentarian Shashindra Rajapaksa has been sworn in as the State Minister for Irrigation and Water Resources Management before President Ranil Wickremesinghe. According to the President's Media Division, the swearing-in ceremony was held at the Presidential Secretariat this morning. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. We continue with more local news. The government bypasses the Paddy Marketing Board for Maha-season paddy purchases, assigning responsibility to small and medium-scale rice mill owners and stock collectors, overseen by regional secretaries. This move was announced by the Minister of Finance and aims to streamline the process and encourage broader participation. A 9 billion rupee loan scheme facilitated through public and private banks will allocate funds based on the 5 years average Maha-season paddy production in each district. The small and medium-scale rice mill owners can access a maximum loan of 50 million rupees, while rice warehouse owners and stockists are eligible for up to 25 million rupees. Loan payments span 180 days with an annual interest rate of 15%, 4% of which will be covered by the Treasury. The Cabinet of Ministers approved the proposal presented by the President in his capacity as the Minister of Finance, Economic Stabilization and National Policies. US Ambassador Julie Chung expressed the US government's commitment to extending additional assistance to support Sri Lanka's healthcare challenges yesterday. The Minister of Health, Ramesh Patirana, also stated the government's initiatives to strengthen free healthcare services, prevent medicine shortage, and enhance medical equipment and disease prevention programs. Discussions revolved around the current state of Sri Lanka's health service and the support provided by the US government for its development. The ambassador noted Sri Lanka's free health service and explored potential financial, technical and physical support for further healthcare sector development. And that concludes local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Veda Mahatmya.
And in the main news story, in response to the vacancy left by the passing of State Minister Sanath Nishanta, a Gazette notification has been issued appointing Jagat Priyankara as the Member of Parliament for the Putlam district. In the 2020 parliamentary election, the Sri Lanka Pudujana Peramuna secured 5 seats from the Puttalam district, with Sanath Nishantha emerging as the leading candidate with 80,082 votes. Following the issuance of the Gazette notification, Jagat Priyankara, who secured the 6th position in the preference list, has been appointed to fill the vacancy parliamentary seat. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Vedamahatmya.
This is Watchlight.
In Watchlight this evening, the overall rate of inflation as measured by Colombo Consumer Price Index on year-on-year basis has increased to 6.4% in January 2024 from 4% in December 2023, according to the latest data from the Census and Statistics Department. The CCPI for all items for the month of January 2024 was 200.7, and it records an increase of 5.6 index points, that is 2.87% change compared to the month of December 2023, for which the index was 195.1. And that came to you in Watchlight.
Coming up, World News.
In world news, first the headlines. Imran Khan, wife sentenced to 14 years in state gifts case. Thai court orders election winners to abandon plans to change royal insults law. Malaysia welcomes new king in unique rotating monarchy. Now the world news in detail. Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan and his wife Bushra Bibi have been sentenced to 14 years in jail in a case related to illegal selling of state gifts. An accountability court, which deals with corruption cases in Rawalpindi on Wednesday, also ruled that the couple would be ineligible to contest for a public office for 10 years while also slapping a fine of $2.7 million. The sentencing came a day after Khan was given a 10-year prison term for revealing state secrets. It was not immediately clear if the sentence were to run consecutively or concurrently. Khan was handed a 3-year prison sentence in August for selling gifts worth more than $501,000 he received when he was the Prime Minister from 2018 to April 2022. Though he secured bail, he remained in jail facing trial in other cases. A Thai court today ruled the biggest party in parliament had violated the constitution with its plans to change a law against insulting the monarchy, saying the campaign was a hidden effort to undermine the powerful crown. In a verdict that will set a precedent for future reviews of one of the world's strictest lèse-majesté laws, the Constitutional Court ordered the Move Forward party to cease a campaign it called damaging to the monarchy, an institution is said was central to Thai identity and national security. Sultan Ibrahim, the wealthy and outspoken ruler of Malaysia's southern Johor state, was sworn in as the country's new king in a ceremony today. Malaysia practices a unique rotational form of monarchy in which the head of the country's 9 royal families take turns to be king for a 5-year reign. The monarchy plays largely a ceremonial role but has become more influential in recent years due to prolonged political instability during which the king has wielded rarely used discretionary powers. Back to the headlines of the world news. Imran Khan, wife sentenced to 14 years in state gifts case. Thai court orders election winners to abandon plan to change royal insults law. And Malaysia welcomes new king in unique rotating monarchy. And that concludes World News.
Development News.
In development news, the Ceylon Electricity Board has introduced several new methods for consumers to pay their electricity bills in a more efficient manner. As such, CEB consumers are now able to pay their bills via the CEBC Care mobile app, the official CEB website, online banking services, CEB or bank kiosk machines at any post office, or through mCash at any Cargills or Kale supermarkets. Issuing a statement, the CEB urged consumers to dial the 1987 CEB hotline in relation to any issues that may arise when settling their bills. And that was Developer News.
Moving on with sports news.
In sports news, Steve Wedderburn shone in West Indies a 3-wicket win against Sri Lanka under-19 in the ICC World 19 World Cup Super Sixers encounter played at Diamond Oval ground in Kimberley, South Africa. West Indies under-19 helped by Wedderburn through making steady progress. In their run, chase underwent some anxious moments in the latter stages of the innings and was guided by Nathan Seeley, who made an unbeaten 27, and Tariq Edward, who together shared an unbroken 26-run stand for the 8th wicket to pull off a thrilling win with 3 balls to spare. And that was sports news.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු වීර හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
In business news, National Lotteries Board spearheads digital transformation in the Sri Lankan lottery industry with SAP Business One HANA implementation in partnership with PBSS Group. The lottery landscape in Sri Lanka is evolving with a groundbreaking digital transformative initiative initiated by the National Lotteries Board. The first step in this transformative journey is marked by the successful project kickoff of the SAP Business One HANA system, achieved in collaboration with Perfect Business Solution Services Private Limited Group, a pioneer information system solution provider in Sri Lanka with over 2 decades of expertise. And that was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak thiyana youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු වීර හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
In economic news, Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena said Sri Lanka's cabinet had given the nod to appoint a committee which will look into the feasibility of exporting up to 1 million tons of granite, including a stockpile of rocks dug up when building the Hambantota port. The rocks are now piled up in the port premises near the administration building and by the Hambantota New Hospital. He further said a committee will be appointed to study the possibility of exporting 1 million metric tons of granite. And that was economic news.
Weather report.
And finally, we move on to the weather report. Several spells of showers will occur in the eastern, over and north-central provinces and in the Mullaitivu and Matale districts. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places elsewhere over the island in the night. A fairly heavy showers, about 75 millimeters, are likely at some places in the central and Sabaragama provinces and in the Gaul and Matara districts. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the central and Sabaragama provinces and in the Gaul and Matara districts during the morning. And that was the weather report. And now to conclude this news broadcast, a recap of the main news headlines. The President visits the University of Caledonia to declare open the new building of the Department of Pali and Buddhist Studies. The Speaker endorses certificate on 2 bills. Shashindra Rajapaksa appointed as State Minister for Irrigation and Water Resource Management, while Jagat Priyankara appointed as a MP. The government shifts Maha paddy purchases to rice mill owners, unveils 9 billion rupee loan scheme. The US Ambassador Julie Chang pledges further healthcare assistance to Sri Lanka. In foreign news, Imran Khan, wife sentenced to 14 years in state gifts case. And finally, in sports, it is cricket. Wedderburn shines in West Indies under-19 win against the Sri Lankans. And with that, we conclude this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.